Chaos outside only wins when it breaks you from within. We live surrounded by noise, pressure, and distractions, each one fighting to throw you off balance. But what if I told you the greatest Stoics in history faced something very similar? Epictetus lived as a slave. Seneca advised emperors while under threat of death. Marcus Aurelius ruled through wars and pandemics. And still, they stayed calm. They stayed clear-minded. They stayed focused. In this video, you'll discover 7 Stoic habits that forge an unshakable mind, even in times of chaos, uncertainty, and conflict. Each habit is a sharp blade against modern despair, and when you apply these principles, you don't just survive the world, you become unshakable in front of it. Are you ready for that? Then take a deep breath and come see what the Stoics did to stay strong when everything seemed to fall apart. Habit 1. Take control of your mental space in the first hours of the day. Before I show you the habits that make someone mentally unshakable, let me remind you of something simple and powerful. Chaos starts early. Often with your eyes barely open, you're already surrounded by noise. You wake up to a notification, open your phone, see a harsh message, a problem that hits before your first coffee. And just like that, your mind has been invaded before you even remember who you are. Here's the truth. If you don't protect the beginning of your day, the world will take that space. And when that happens, you're not starting the day. You're just reacting to it. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, used to write to himself right after waking up. "Today you will meet selfish, ungrateful, arrogant people." And he would add, "They cannot harm me because I cannot be dragged by them." He didn't wake up looking for motivation. He woke up seeking clarity. That's why the first Stoic habit to become mentally unshakable is this. Take control of your mental space in the first hours of the day. Start with silence, not notifications. Read something that elevates your thinking. Write 3 lines that remind you of who you want to be before the world tells you who you should be. These first 10 minutes are worth gold. They tell the world, "Today, I am the one in charge of my inner state." Chaos may knock on your door, but it only gets in if you open it. If this first habit already struck a chord with you, hit the like button now. It helps this content reach more people who are also searching for clarity, just like you. But let me ask you something. What happens when the chaos comes from inside, when your mind starts racing before you even get out of bed? That's where the second habit comes in. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but it's what separates the distracted from the disciplined. It's one of the hardest habits and maybe the most transformative. Habit 2. Win your first inner battle of the day. You may not notice it, but every morning a battle takes place, and it's not against traffic, or emails, bosses, or family members. The battle is against yourself. It's that urge to stay in bed 5 more minutes, to delay, to stall, to escape, to tell yourself, "I'll do it later. I'll think about it later, not today." The problem is, that moment may seem small, but it shapes your entire day. Because if you lose that first inner battle, you send a message to your brain. Comfort is in charge, not decision. Seneca said, "Discipline begins when we stop being slaves to our impulses." And here's the brutal truth. If you don't master your first impulse, every other impulse will master you. That's why the second Stoic habit is this. Get up with action, not excuses. It sounds simple, but it's brutal. In those 5 minutes of resistance, you are training your mind not to give in. Epictetus, who taught philosophy to Roman soldiers, said, "Don't wait for the right moment. Start now." That moment when you overcome yourself and take action without feeling like it is the moment your mind begins to turn unshakable. And here's what's most interesting. It's not about waking up early. It's about waking up with intention. It could be 6 a.m., 7, or even 8. What matters is this. Did you choose to rise or were you dragged? Now, if you woke up in control and won your first battle, what you do in those first minutes of wakefulness is what shapes the focus of your entire day. And the third habit will show you how to cultivate that focus like a Stoic warrior. Habit 3. Sharpen your mind before the world reaches you. You resisted the urge to stay in bed, but now comes the second silent threat of the day, starting in autopilot mode. Have you noticed how easy it is to fall straight into it? You wake up and, before you realize it, you're answering messages, jumping between tabs, eating anything, listening to anything, watching anything. And the most dangerous part? You haven't even connected with yourself yet. Here's the hard truth the Stoics understood. A mind that is not directed is dragged, Seneca said. That's why the third Stoic habit is this. Sharpen your mind before the world reaches you. It means starting the day with mental intention, not external reaction. Stoic practice 1. A short, powerful reading. Choose a quote, a passage, a line that captures who you want to be today. Read it slowly. Read it aloud. Feel the idea sink in. Stoic practice 2. Intention writing. Ask yourself, what Stoic principle do I want to practice today? What might throw me off balance? How do I choose to respond to it? Writing this down isn't a waste of time. It's mental warfare preparation. Marcus Aurelius did this every single day. His meditations were just that. Private drafts of the man he wanted to be, even when the world around him was falling apart. And what does this build? Clarity before the chaos, awareness before the impulse, purpose before the rush. If you start your day feeding your mind with philosophy, clarity, and direction, the world may try to knock you down, but it will meet resistance. And if this made sense to you, leave a comment below. This habit needs to be part of my routine. You have no idea how much that simple comment could help another viewer who needs to hear this today. Now stay with me, because the fourth habit is what truly separates amateurs from those who live with real intention. And most people still fail exactly at this point. Habit 4. Choose your mental battles wisely. So far you've already protected the start of your day, won the first battle against laziness, and sharpened your mind with Stoic clarity. But now comes a new danger. Too many battles. We live in an era where everything feels urgent. Everything feels like a fight. Every stimulus demands a response. But the Stoics had one simple and powerful rule. If something is not under your control, it doesn't deserve your concern, Epictetus said. Most people fail here because they waste focus on things that don't matter. Other people's opinions, a rude comment, a delayed meeting, traffic, politics, the weather. You spend your energy, and when it's time to fight for what really matters, you're already drained. That's why the fourth Stoic habit is this: choose your mental battles wisely. Before reacting, ask yourself, is this under my direct control? Does it affect my character or my principles? Will this reaction improve or damage my internal state? If the answer is no to any of those questions, let it go. With elegance, with firmness, with silence. This isn't weakness, this is emotional discipline. It's exactly what Marcus Aurelius practiced when facing criticism, political intrigue, and life or death decisions. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength, Marcus Aurelius said. Here's a brutally simple practice. Before stepping into a new worry, take a 10-second pause. Breathe and ask yourself, does this strengthen me or drain me? This simple question can save your energy and your sanity. And if you want to keep shielding yourself from chaos with Stoic wisdom, subscribe to the channel now. There's a lot more coming, and here we deliver practical wisdom every single day. Now hold on tight, because the fifth habit is about the biggest mistake you can make after a hard day, and most people never even notice it. Habit 5. Take control of the end of your day before it destroys the next one. You've had a long day. Some things went well, others not so much. Maybe you won your first battle in the morning, but lost several others along the way. And now, it's already 10 p.m. You're tired, unfocused, with your phone in your hand and your mind racing. At this exact moment, there's a silent risk, bringing that chaos into your mind and waking up with it tomorrow. Most people end their day the wrong way, repeating negative news, comparing themselves on social media, thinking about what they didn't do, or just passing out in bed with the TV still on. This creates a cycle of chronic agitation that slowly eats away at your mental strength. But the Stoics did things differently. Epictetus taught his students to end the day with reflection. Don't go to sleep without reviewing what you did, what you said, and what you left undone, Epictetus said. This wasn't a ritual of guilt. It was a ritual of power. That's why the fifth habit is this: take control of the end of your day before it destroys the next one. And here's a small Stoic ritual that can change everything. 1. Turn off all screens at least 30 minutes before bed. 2. Write down 3 simple questions. What did I do well today? Where did I lose focus? How can I improve tomorrow? 3. Take a deep breath, give thanks, and let go. This is the moment when your mind stops carrying the weight of the world and starts holding only what truly matters. Try this ritual for 7 nights, just 5 minutes before you sleep. Then come back here and tell me in the comments what changed. And if you already do something like this, drop a comment now. Stoic Ritual Active. Now, if you found this habit powerful, the next one is even more radical, and it's exactly what the Stoics used to turn pain into strength. Habit 6. Turn pain into discipline. Pay close attention. The kind of chaos that shakes us the most usually doesn't come from the outside, it comes from within. A disappointment, a failure, a loss, or even self-criticism that grows in silence. And this is where many people fall apart. Because instead of using pain as fuel, they use it as an excuse. But the Stoics saw pain differently. They didn't romanticize it. They trained with it. Difficulties show a man's character, Epictetus said. When everything is comfortable, anyone can look strong. But it's in discomfort that the true Stoic shows up. That's when you turn pain into discipline. You know those days when everything goes wrong? Use them to train your patience. You know those moments when someone ignores you, frustrates you, or humiliates you? Use them to train your tolerance and resilience. This is the habit. Turn pain into Stoic practice. It's not about denying what you feel. It's about choosing what to do with what you feel. That's what makes you mentally unshakable. Because no one can steal your strength when you've learned to forge it in the worst situations. Here's a reminder you need to hear. Pain is not the enemy. Running from pain is. If you run, it follows. If you face it, it shapes you. Tell me in the comments, what was the hardest moment that made you stronger recently? Your comment might strengthen someone else watching right now. And if you haven't commented yet, this is your moment. And now to close, the final Stoic habit doesn't require effort, but it does require courage, because it takes you to a place that almost no one dares to visit these days. Habit 7. Use silence as both shield and sword. The world today is loud. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone wants to react, to post, to reply, to strike back. But the Stoics knew something most people have forgotten. True power doesn't need to show off. Seneca once wrote, "Nothing is more admirable than keeping silent at the right time." Silence is not passivity. It's presence. It's self-mastery. When you choose silence with intention, you are saying, "I don't react out of impulse. I act with purpose." That's why the final Stoic habit is this. Use silence as both shield and sword. Shield to protect your mental peace. Silence in the face of provocation, in the face of gossip, in the face of inflated egos. Sword to cut away the unnecessary, to observe more than you speak, to listen more than you answer, to act with precision, not with anxiety. Marcus Aurelius faced betrayal, wars, and political schemes. Yet even in all that, he wrote to himself, "Be silent." The most powerful reply is the example. Do you want to be respected? Do you want to be admired? Do you want to be unshakable? Then master silence, because silence reveals who you truly are when no one is watching. Here's a simple practice you can apply today. Before responding to something that irritates you, before explaining yourself, before jumping into one more pointless argument, breathe, stay silent, watch. Sometimes the absence of reaction is the most powerful reaction of all. Now imagine the impact of putting all this together. You start your day in control. You win your inner battles. You align your mind. You protect your energy. You turn pain into strength. And you remain silent with wisdom. Do you really think chaos stands a chance against someone like that? You made it this far, and that already shows you're no longer willing to live on autopilot. Now you know the 7 Stoic habits that shape an unshakable mind. Protect your mental space first thing in the morning. Win your first battle of the day. Sharpen your mind before the world reaches you. Choose your battles wisely. End the day with reflection, not distraction. Turn pain into Stoic practice. Use silence as both weapon and armor. These habits are not magic formulas. They are small daily choices that, when repeated, build clarity, strength, and peace of mind. The world will remain chaotic, but you no longer have to be just another person reacting. You can start living with presence, focus, and intention. Now think about this. Which of these habits stood out to you the most? Which one will you start practicing tomorrow morning? Remember, you don't have to be perfect, but you do have to begin. With every habit you practice, you stop being controlled by the world out there and start mastering the world within. This is Stoicism in action, and it's now in your hands. Build your inner fortress and build it with us. If this video made you think, feel, or decide something, you're already on the path, but you don't have to walk that path alone. Here at Stoic Solutions Now, you'll find practical tools, living philosophy, and a community of real people who've chosen to live with more intention and less distraction. So if this resonated with you, like the video, it helps us reach more people who need to hear this too. Comment below, which habit will you start applying tomorrow? Subscribe now and turn on the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Share this video with someone who needs to take back control of their own mind. Here, every video is a step. Every step is training, and every training is a chance to become unshakable inside and out. You're no longer reacting to life, you're leading your journey. Welcome to Stoic Solutions Now. I'll see you in the next episode.